The best thing you could do for yourself during a breakup is focus on personal growth. Instead of obsessing about your ex, focus on healing your attachment issues. Learn the skills to repair that relationship. Learn to understand your ex better. And when they come back, you can reattract them in a natural, confident way. My workbook series and my creative healing course were designed to help you during no contact and to grow even if they don't come back. You can get them on my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about reignite the spark by making your ex miss you.
Ooh, we hope to see fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because when we miss somebody, everything inside of us wants to reach out to them. I just had a couple email coachings in the last week where people are like, I'm really thinking about breaking no contact, right? Mm-hmm. And guys, we know how tough it is for you to leave your ex alone, but allowing your ex time and space to miss you is absolutely critical to turning it around. Look at the comments of the people that say, I broke no contact. It's not usually followed by, and it went great. It would be nice if it was, but the reason that we talk about all these things is because what you have to do in a breakup is so counterintuitive to what you want to do. So the last thing you want to do is allow the space because you're terrified that you're going to lose them. But it's actually that space that makes them get to a place where ideally they're scared of losing you.
Right. And when you think about it, when our bodies and our minds are at rest and are able to relax more, we think about things so differently. I mean, just think about any situation. If you look at it when you're stressed, you're going to see it from such a different perspective than when you're in a relaxed state.
Yeah.
And when you're in a better mood and when you feel like you finally have a grip on your life and you have things in order. So same thing goes for your ex. If you're constantly badgering them and giving them that feeling of stress and guilt and, oh, I don't know how to handle this and I feel like confined and I just want to break free and live my life and do all these things, they're going to look at the relationship from a completely different standpoint from when you're giving them that space and you're saying, you know what, you have that moment to gather your things, to, get a grip on your life and to feel like you're at rest and consider our relationship. Think about it.
Yep.
So this is something that's really important. When you actually give your ex that space, you give them and allow them that time and space to self-reflect, which is so important.
There are certain things that are more attractive to human beings, certain behaviors that we do that display confidence. Confidence is one of the most attractive things that you can do. And confidence means showing that person that you're okay without them. This is why we're always telling you, work on your attachment issues, because that is true confidence. When you really heal your attachment issues, you are okay with navigating being alone or the challenges of yourself or being alone, or you know what I mean? And so you got to focus on that while you're in no contact, because if you don't and you focus on where they're at and what they're doing, it's just going to make you spiral and panic more. And then you're going to look for excuses to reach out to them. And when you start doing that, it just makes them feel uncomfortable. It makes them feel like something's wrong with you, right? I mean, you hear that from exes like, you got to stop. They'll warn you, like, you're going to get blocked if you keep this up. So you really have to behave in an attractive way. And the most attractive way the most attractive thing you could do is to stop reaching out to somebody that's ended a relationship.
Right. You have to think about your ex's process through this too. When they're given that space, it's almost like, this happens in a lot of human interactions. Afterwards, it's like our brains are indexing all of these interactions that we've had. And we're trying to make sense of them. We're thinking about what moments stood out. We're thinking about making meaning of those moments that stood out. And that's a process. That takes time. A lot of times after a breakup, we get into a panic of wanting to fix the bad moments. We think, we just have to talk about it. We just have to talk about what's wrong. We just have to fix it right there in the moment. Right? And it all has to be immediate. And what we're missing is the fact that with time, we give our ex time to think, yes, about the bad moments. Of course, they're going to think about those, which is why they broke up with you.
Yep.
But they're also going to have time to think about the good moments. And if we're stepping in, trying to fix all the time, all these bad moments, fixing the bad moments, that's all that's going to be in front of their face. They're not going to have that time to process and index all of these interactions. So,
and you're being manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
That's manipulative.
Yeah.
Right? You're trying to force your agenda, and I really don't want you to do that. Because in my experience, you need to let things happen the way that they're meant to. Pushing in any way, trying to manipulate, people can feel it, they can sense it, and they just lose attraction when you do it.
And you also lose a sense of yourself too when you get into that mindset of, I need to fix things, I need everything immediate right now. We start to lose ourselves into the anxiety of that and start to spiral. And so one of those things to reignite the spark is really to be in your element. You were talking about confidence and how attractive confidence is. When somebody is in their element, they are their most confident. When you're doing something that you know that you're good at, you're going to have a sway in your hips while you're doing it. Right? And so that's being in your element. That's the part that's very, very important. So during a breakup, it's really important to do those things that make you feel like yourself again. A lot of you in a relationship have abandoned some of those hobbies that you like to do. Yep. It can be anything that you would spend your time on. A lot of times we forget about that to invest in our partnerships, which is not a bad thing. But during a breakup, finding yourself again is very, very, very important. And I'll give you an example. I remember after one of my breakups, I had gone to the store and I was looking for nail polish. I'd run out of nail polish. I'm like, I'm going to get a new color. And I remember being so used to thinking as a unit with my partner that even a decision of choosing what nail polish color I was considering that person. Well, what color would they like? Would they like this one more or that one more? And I wasn't thinking, what color do I want on my nails?
Yeah.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's true.
So sometimes we get so used to thinking as a unit that we forget about ourselves, and we're so caught up on fixing and pleasing our ex that we forget about who we are.
Yep.
So something that's very important.
Yeah, that's so true. Because we keep trying to talk to you guys about coming from an attractive place, and I say a lot of times you got to let them go to get them back. And letting them go means not being consumed with where they're at and what they're doing, and more being consumed on how am I going to fix my struggles, the areas I need to improve, my attachment issues, my ability to communicate, all the different things that we try and teach you to make you more confident, either when they come back or when you meet other people.
Right. And being able to rebuild your self-esteem during a breakup is huge. When we start to beg and plead for an ex back, that starts to chip away at our confidence. It really does. And so what's really important in being able to reignite the spark is to be able to challenge yourself and expand your view of who you are and what you're capable of. We start to think when we're in that mode after a breakup, when we're feeling really low about ourselves, why would they want us back anyways? Why would they want this? And we hear this sometimes from clients. Like, what reason do they have to be back in this relationship? You might start to think, like, this is one person that knew me so deeply and they didn't want me. So what does that mean about me? We start to take things deeply personal, and it's almost like our entire lives revolve around making our ex happy, or having somebody love us like that.
Isn't it interesting?
It is.
It's consuming.
It is all consuming, yeah. And so we're here to remind you that you're so much more than your breakup. You're so much more than your relationship and how you may have shown up for that. And with that said, we want to encourage you to try something new, to challenge yourself, to kind of reconstruct even what your idea is of who you are.
Yeah, even little things make a difference. Maybe you get a different kind of beer when you're at the restaurant. You try something new to eat. Little things that step you outside of your comfort zone can be a big difference for you when it slowly adds up over time.
Right. And I see a lot of people pick up new hobbies after a breakup. Like I hear a lot of clients will be like, yeah, I started salsa dancing
I'm
now.
hearing a lot of people doing droning now. I'm just Drone your ex. That's going to be a website. How to drone your ex properly.
No.
If you can't afford an ice cream truck to drive around your ex's neighborhood,
No.
get a drone.
That's not a hobby that I'm talking about, by the way.
We're not encouraging this at all.
Stalking is not a hobby that you pick up after a breakup.
Well, I mean, it's not one you're supposed to pick up, but let's face it, many of you have picked up that hobby and are
Private investigating.
experts in the field.
Forensics. Many of you are into forensics now.
Oh, man,
But no, it is true. There's a lot of people who, put themselves in new social situations. Pickleball is one that's really popular for some reason.
Pickleball to get your ex back is going to be another channel too.
Yeah, right. How to pickleball your way back into your ex's heart.
I could see it coming.
So we do want to challenge you to put yourself in new situations, to challenge what your capabilities are. Because if your ex broke up with you, they may have put you in this box of who they think you are, who they thought you were.
Yes.
And so sometimes we start to believe that too. Oh, this is all I am capable of. Oh, I am really lazy. Oh, I really don't have ambition, or whatever it might be. So I think there can be something incredibly motivating about a breakup, that we want to prove our ex wrong, but we also want to prove ourselves wrong too.
Yeah, so you really want to focus on reigniting the spark within you so you feel good, you're happy with who you are, and that is a true place of confidence, right? And, people always say to me, well, if I don't reach out to them, how are they going to know? Don't force that. Let them know that when it's meant to. And I don't mean tell them by letting them know. I mean, that information will come to them in a healthy, natural way when it's meant to. Don't try to force those things. That's desperation. You see people, we've had guys that were doing breakup channels to copy our stuff to try and reattract their ex. By the way, it didn't work for him. So don't get any ideas. Besides, there's already too many copycats out there.
But it is important to be able to let things flow organically and naturally.
Yes, not trying to manipulate them. Do that stuff for you. That's the healthy thing to do. I used to say years ago, you want to be the star in your own movie, right? You should be the star of your life.
Craig's the main character.
Right?
He's got main character syndrome.
Maybe when I was going through my breakup, I did, right? But, you want to be the star of your own life. But we make our ex the star of our life, right? It's like we're sitting in the theater watching them. You're no longer focused on your life. You're focused on what are they doing in the little bit of information that you may or may not have.
Yeah. No, I love that analogy because it's true. And the reality of being able to shift your mentality and your attitude about the breakup is that it's a win-win at the end. If you do hear from your ex, they're going to inevitably sense the energy that you bring. That sounds so hippie when I say that. They're going to inevitably sense that, though.
Well, we say there's a disturbance in the force.
It's true. They're going to be able to pick up on those things. And that's because the way that we think affects our behavior and affects the way that we look at the world. Those things are so connected. And so it's going to be a win-win because if we hear from them, they will sense that. And if we don't hear from them and we continue our lives, other people will sense that.
Absolutely. It's so true, guys. Personal growth feels good. It does. It's very enlightening. You feel calmer, more at peace. You feel better about yourself. And when you go through that process, and it is a process, it is not easy. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes work. When you do that, you're going to feel so much better about who you are and how you're showing up. And you're going to be a lot more likely to attract your ex or attract other people. So really, we truly mean that you want to focus on yourself and what's going on within you. Heal those attachment issues. Look at your past traumas. Look at your relationship with your family and your caregivers and work through that stuff. Because all of that shows up in our mental health and our dating.
Exactly.
All right, so hopefully this one's been helpful to you. And of course, if you want to get our help personally, you could do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coachings and I do Zoom calls. Coach Victoria is also available for Zoom calls.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat.
Just click on her name on the top of the website to schedule with her. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.